my book and wax friends. I'm Amber. Welcome to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Welcome if you're returning. I'm so glad to have you here with me. Today's video is all about the new releases that are coming in the month of March, the ones that I am most anticipating reading. It is, of course, not every single new release because I would be here all day. So these are my top 10 most anticipated new releases that I'm very much looking forward to, that have caught my interest, and maybe there will be some that you might decide that look good for you. So I thought I would share with you guys. So number one shouldn't come as no surprise if you've been paying attention to the book world at all. It is the sixth book. I mean, I don't know if they're technically calling it the sixth book or not, but it's part of the Hunger Games world. It is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. It releases March 18th, and this is a prequel like Songbirds and Snakes was, which I didn't bother reading because I don't care about. I don't care to learn about President Snow and how he became President Snow, honestly. But this one I am looking forward to. Sunrise on the Reaping is Haymitch's story. So I'm excited because Haymitch was one of my favorite characters in the Hunger Games trilogy. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing more about him and how he became who he was in the Hunger Games trilogy. So that is number one. That's my most anticipated for sure. The next book that I'm interested in is called Summer in the City. This is by Alex Astor. It releases March 25th. Alex Astor is the author of The Light Lark series. I'm not sure how many books it's going to be, but it's a trilogy as of right now. But I think there's supposed to be a couple other books. I've read the first book a couple times, haven't continued the series. But this is her first romance book, and it looks really cute. So let's look at the synopsis, and you can decide if it's one that might work for you too. So this is 27-year-old screenwriter Elle has the chance of a lifetime to write a big budget movie set in New York City. The only problem, she's had writer's block for months, and her screenplay is due at the end of the summer. In a desperate attempt at inspiration, Elle ends up back in the city she swore she'd never return to, in an apartment she could never afford, floor-to-ceiling windows, skyline views, and a new coffee shop to haunt included. It's the perfect place to write her screenplay until she realizes her new neighbor is tech billionaire bachelor Parker Warren, her stairwell hookup from 2 years ago. It's been a lovers to enemies situation ever since. And one summer, one wall apart, he needs to fake a buzzy relationship during his company's precarious acquisition. She needs to write a movie around a list of New York City locations. Both need a break from their unrelenting schedules and a chance to rediscover the skyscraper glimmering, pizza-crusted sunlight charms of the city. Summer always ends, and so will this agreement. It's all pretend, promise, until it isn't. So, fake dating trope, one of my favorite tropes for sure. So that one looks like it could be cute. And I did enjoy her writing in the Light Lark book that I did read. Okay, the next one is a fantasy, I think, I'm pretty sure, or magical realism type of book. It's called Spells, Strings, and Forgotten Things by Brienne Randall. It comes out March 4th, and the synopsis is in the small town of Gold Springs, Calliope Patretti and her two sisters carefully guard the secret of their magic and the price they must pay to practice it, memories. Luckily, all Calliope wants to do is forget. The mother who left without a trace, the sisters from whom she feels increasingly distant, and most of all, the way the love of her life shattered her heart 2 years ago. But when an ancient evil awakens, the fragile thread that holds the sisters together breaks. As their magic slowly begins to fade, Calliope accidentally binds herself to the handsome leader of a rival coven, infamous for their ruthless pursuit of power. So that looks like it'll be good. It's an interesting take on magic in that you have to give up memories for certain magical abilities or something. So that one sounds like it will be good. Okay, the next one is The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore. This comes out March 18th. I can't remember the name of the series. I'll remember and then I'll put it down here for you. So this is like the third or fourth book. I think it's the fourth book in the series. And I laughed because I know this series is on the spicier side and I prefer more closed door romance. And so it's funny to me to put this on the list, but it's because I love the covers of these books so much. I'm tempted to get them just to have them in my collection, even if I never read them, because the covers are so stinking cute. So that's why it made my list. But let me read the synopsis for you. As a world-renowned chef, single dad Archer never planned on moving to a small town, let alone running a pancake restaurant. But Dream Harbor, that's the name of the series, Dream Harbor, needs a new chef, and Archer needs a community to help raise his daughter Olive. Iris has never managed to hold down a job for more than a few months. So when it's suggested that Archer is looking for a live-in nanny, she almost runs in the opposite direction. Now Iris finds herself in a whole new world, one where her gorgeous new boss lives right across the hall and likes to cook topless. Keeping everything strictly professional should be easy, right? So this is described as a cozy romantic mystery with a single dad and found family dynamic. So, like I said, I don't know if I will read it, but I want to pick up the series just because the covers are so cute. Anyway, I know that's silly, but I am a book collector too, along with reading them and loving and enjoying the pages inside the book. I love covers that are just beautiful. So anyway, moving on. The next one is a fantasy, I'm pretty sure. This is called A Harvest of Hearts. It is by Andrea Eames, I think is how you say it, Eames. Comes out March 4th. Everyone in Foss Butcher's village knows what happens when the magic workers come. They harvest human hearts to use in their spells. That's pretty gruesome. That's just how life in her kingdom works. But Foss, plain, clumsy, and practical as a boot, never expected anyone would want hers. When a sorcerer snags a piece of Foss's heart without meaning to, she is furious. For once a heart is snagged, the experience is, well, unpleasant. So Foss finds herself stomping towards the grand city to keep his enchanted house and demands that he fixes her before she keels over and dies, or whatever happens when hearts are snagged. But the sorcerer, Sylvester, is not what she expected. Petulant, idle, and new to his powers, Sylvester has no clue how to undo the heart-taking or how to do much of anything, really, apart from sulk. Foss's only friend is a talking cat, and even the house's walls themselves have moods. So it's got a sentient house. I like that. As Foss searches for a cure, she accidentally uncovers that there is much more to the heart-taking and to the magic workers themselves than she could ever have imagined. So when the house is like, it sounds whimsical. If you've been here, you know I love a whimsical book. So this sounds like it could be right up my alley for sure. Okay, the next one is called Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bestone. This comes out March 4th. And she is the author of Ready or Not, which I did read a few months ago and did enjoy it quite a lot. And so this is another book by her. It might be her second. I don't know if Ready or Not was her debut novel or not. But I did enjoy that one. So this is said, how do you find yourself after you lose the one you loved the most? Grieving the loss of her best friend, a young woman's life is turned upside down when she meets a grumpy stranger who swears he can help her live again in this heartwarming slow burn romance. So I love a slow burn. Some of my favorite types of romances are slow burn for sure. So that sounds really good. Okay, the next one I think is a romance rom-com, and it is called, excuse me, Spring Fling by Annie England Noblin. It comes out March 18th. And this is described as spring is in the air and Miley has everything she could ever want. Her tackle shop is thriving and employs a third of Clay Creek, Arkansas. And she lives with her beloved granny and little sister Cassie, who both keep her on her toes. As tourists pour into town for the annual fishing tournament, Miley is in her element and ready to bring her all-women team to victory. After moving to Chicago, Ben never thought he would return to Clay Creek, but with both his grandfather and mother gone, he's left to deal with their estate. His plan is simple: come in quietly, fix up his lakeside childhood home, sell it quickly, and get out. He underestimates how quickly his arrival will stir up the local gossip and how intensely his unresolved feelings for Miley, his childhood best friend, will resurface. So this really caught my eye because my husband is a bass fisherman. He does fish bass tournaments, and so I saw the whole fishing aspect to this, and I was like, oh, I need to try that one out. So that one looks like it will be cute for sure. Okay, this next one is going to surprise you. It surprises me, but I saw it and I was like, oh, this looks really good. It is a nonfiction, which I'm not a big nonfiction reader, but this one, because I read for enjoyment, and nonfiction most of the time aren't books that I gravitate towards, but this one looked really good. It's called Propaganda Girls by Lisa Rojak, I think, and this comes out March 4th. So it is described as the true story of 4 women who secretly affected the course of World War II through their propaganda. As members of the OSS, the 4 women were tasked with creating propaganda to break the spirits of Axis soldiers. Together, Betty McDonald, a young reporter, Zuzka Lawers, sorry, I'm sure I'm butchering that, a multilingual Czech, Jane Smith Hutton, the wife of a naval attaché in Tokyo, and Marlene Dietrich, a famous German-American actress, worked to forge letters, fake newspapers, and develop rumors for undercover spies to spread a web of deception to the enemy. So that sounds really good, very interesting, and so yeah, it definitely had to make my list. Okay, the final 2 are, the first one is called When the Bones Sing by Ginny Myers Sane. This comes out March 4th, and it is described as a Southern Gothic supernatural thriller about a teen girl in a small Ozark town who can hear the bones of the dead. 17-year-old Dovey doesn't believe in magic, even though she comes from a long line of women who can hear the bones of the dead sing. And for the past few years, the bones have been crooning nonstop, calling out to Dovey to dig them up. So I'm, again, also not really a thriller girly, but this sounded intriguing, especially with the kind of like magic twist to it. So that had to make my list. Okay, and then the last one is a fantasy. It is called The Scorpion and the Night Blossom by Amelie Wen Zhao, and it comes out March 4th as well. A lot are being released on the 4th, it seems like. So this is 9 years ago, the war between the Kingdom of Night and the Kingdom of Rivers tore On Ying's family apart, leaving her mother barely alive and baby sister to fend for. Now the mortal realm is falling into eternal night, and Mo, beautiful ravenous demons, it's M-O with a little, what is that even called? A little mark. My mind is not working at the moment. I'll put down what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, it's what they're called, these beautiful ravenous demons. Roam the land, feasting on the flesh of humans and drinking their souls. Whew, scary. On Ying is no longer a helpless child, though. Armed with her crescent blades and trained in the ancient art of practicing, she has decided to enter the immortality trials, which are open to any mortal who can survive the journey to the immortal realm. Those who complete the trials are granted a pill for eternal life. The one thing On Ying knows can heal her dying mother. But to attain the prize, she must survive the competition. Death is common in the trials. Yet oddly, On Ying finds that someone is helping her stay alive. A rival contestant, powerful and handsome Yu Chen, is as secretive about his past as he is about his motives for protecting On Ying. The longer she survives the trials, the clearer it becomes that all is not right in the immortal realm. To save her mother and herself, On Ying will need to figure out whether she can truly trust the stranger she's falling for, or if he's the most dangerous player of all for herself and for all the realms. So, looks good. Yeah, I don't know why. So, anyway, those are the books that I am most anticipating that are coming out in the month of March. If you have any that I did not mention that you're looking forward to, let me know down in the comments, or if any of these sound good to you, let me know that as well. Are you a fan of the Hunger Games books, movies, whatever, and are you looking forward to Haymitch's story? So let me know all those things down in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate all of you guys for watching my videos and putting up with my goofiness and my rambling. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.